Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Busy, but good.
That's wonderful. Good to hear. Now, you're about to drop the belter of an album in the form of Theater of Dimensions. I'm sure you guys must be super pumped for this. And also, the time period you have to wait till January 27th, that gap sucks, isn't it?
Yes. But the good thing is that we also get a lot of comments of people in saying that it sucks, that it's still so long till the music comes out. So we're in it together.
Definitely, because it's been such a great ride for you. Obviously, you guys are able to play shows in different countries you haven't done, and then you have the music also flowing together. So the time to write an album and ensuring that it's a really good album. Where was this album written? Was it written in bits and pieces as you were on road, or was it in the studio?
No, it was really in the studio. It actually has been written by three people.
Hmm.
So Michael Hooibaum,
Right.
uh, Joost van den Broek, our producer, but for this album and also for the other album since we started working with him. Um, he was working with us writing on the album, and then myself.
Hmm.
So it's really the three of us who sat down together in the studio, booked ourselves weekends or weeks over the period of 2 years, and wrote the songs that you hear or almost hear on the album.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. You've already unleashed We Are Murderers, and I'm sure you must have kind of done some research as to how your fans are responding to it so far.
Aha! Yes, yeah, I've read a lot of things. Um, it's a song to which Marco wrote the lyrics,
Hmm.
and it's pretty much in your face and down to the point. And personally, I've read that some people love this approach and other people are not too charmed about it. I can understand both.
Hmm.
Um, for my taste, it's also a bit heavy.
Right.
Um, I like a subtle approach, but this is, I think, also has to do with man and woman. And yeah, what I do like is that it shows a really different color of Xandria, and I think therefore it also shows diversity.
You also surprised your fans with speed on this song, and I was
Yes.
reading some comments where they're like, "Holy shit, how did this happen?" So that was really cool.
It is right. He's just a tremendous singer, and he is good in doing the natural voice in the melodic chorus as well as performing this deep and heavy grunt. And I think that's just what the song needed.
Absolutely, and also there are many guests on the record. So was it sort of like when you were writing the songs? I mean, probably when the songs were almost done and you were working on the vocals, and whose idea was to have, okay, let's bring Zaher on this part, or Speed on this, or let's say Thompson on this. So was it sort of planned in advance, or did it just happen naturally?
Well, Marco from the start on really wanted to have guest vocals.
Hmm.
So this was really his idea. And then once the songs were written, we all sat down and listened to them and thought about whose voice could really lift the song onto a new level.
Right.
And yes, we came up with a number of names,
Hmm.
and then also approached people and see who was interested. And I think we found Bjorn first willing to do it, and that's just awesome because
Right.
he did such a good job, like I've said. Um, yes, we found Zaher, and well, I think his contribution really makes this song authentic because him being from Tunisia and really owning the style
Right.
um, that we have in the song makes it okay for us to do because otherwise it could also be a little bit of, I don't know, we wanted to do a song with oriental influences, but with him being in the song it really comes alive.
Absolutely, and this record is not only the heaviest. There's a lot of heavy stuff on this, but also is most emotional. There's a lot of emotion attached to this. Is this sort of a personal record for you in terms of, I don't know, expressing what you've faced and what you see in life?
I think so, yes. um, you know Almost in every interview I hear this, that people say it's the most emotional album, and I agree. on this album, 50% of the lyrics are written by me, and when I write lyrics, I really love to dive into my own personality and speak about what keeps me busy and what frustrates me, and situations and pains I've gone through, and how I had to deal with them. And I'm like an open book, so I I guess I'm like an open record.
Right, that's really cool because you have songs like Forsaken Love, Dark Night of the Soul, which are very slow and emotional, and they're placed so well on the album. Was it sort of an intention to write these? They're kind of a ballad in the middle of the song, in the album where you have heavy stuff in and around the album.
Um, well, we didn't write them with the intention of thinking, there should be an in-between song. But of course, we thought about how to make an album diverse and give it as much colors as we could. That's also why the instrumental song is there. Yes, they are both very emotional songs. For me, especially Dark Night of the Soul is really a song close to my heart and is really heartfelt. Yeah, it tells about, well, Dark Night of the Soul really means being in the darkest hour of your life. So it's about that feeling that, that can happen at any moment that you're unhappy. So the end of a relationship or a person dying, and it's really being in that moment and then yearning for your mother, like you did, when you were little, to run up the stairs and come lift you up and comfort you. Right. And this is really a song where I dive into this moment, and you're an adult now, and you're not allowed to cry. And scream for help. So people don't do that anymore once they've grown up, but that doesn't mean that the feeling of comfort isn't still there.
Right. That's absolutely true, because that's where I felt that it's more like an inspiration to kind of don't fear the darkness. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to work towards it.
Yes, well, I think that's a beautiful way of saying it.
Right, and the cover art has a lot of, there's a lot of story it reflects. Is it the title, like Theater of Dimensions, is a life which you have many colors. And on theater, and especially when you have your own personality, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of emotions attached. Is it sort of a dream, sort of a concept album to kind of reflect on life in general, about what we face, what we see?
I think so, yes, because some situations in nowadays life just have become so ridiculous. Right. For example, that you're not allowed to cry and ask for help, because that people would see you as weak, which I think you are not if you are able to ask for help. And that of course, being an emotion close to home, but also what's going on in the world. And it's more and more becoming, a circus or a theater. And the dimensions then, of course, are the different aspects playing in this theater. Right. And what you see on the cover art is a girl, which is portrayed by me.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah, it's me. Ta-da! Which is, well, okay, so it's me. Heading into this theater. So it's really, once you've opened up our album, the theater opens up, and here are all our stories and tales and colors and, well, everything.
Absolutely, that's really good to hear. And there's a soundtrack like Finis, as always, in the compositions, kind of involved with a lot of the sounds of various instruments, orchestral parts being created here. Who's responsible for that? Because you have a band where you have two guitarists, and then you have Gerrit also involved into songwriting. Who takes care of the keyboards and also the entire orchestration, the entire background score of this? Kind of makes me feel like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, that's true. Well, for this, I really have to credit our producer and co-writer, Joost van den Broek. He does all the orchestrations and arrangements, and he's also the one you hear playing piano or keyboards. But that's also a reason why he's a co-writer to our album, because he just gives us the opportunity to go really symphonic on every song, and he just has so much knowledge that it's wonderful working with him, because he is able to let us go where we wouldn't have gone when it was just guitar and voice writing.
Absolutely. And now coming to your voice, a simple, subtle, emotional journey has a very distinct character, exactly like you have in your voice. Strong, very soulful. And words cannot explain. I'm sure you're tired of people, telling you the same, Dianne, your vocals are awesome, this, that. But, with all being said, for you personally, as a goal, as a singer, to have these yearly goals, how you want to progress, what was on this record that you pushed a lot when it comes to voice?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, the hard part for me also when recording is letting go, because I studied classical music for 7 years. I have my bachelor and master's degree. And what you learn in these studies is technique and technique and technique and more technique. So when it comes to classical technique, I think I must be pretty good at it after studying for so long. But then there's the other side of letting go, and it might be a strange quote, but just sing. And for me, it's really hard to just sing, because I like to rethink every move I make 5 times, and then decide what's best, and then start singing. And this is also, wait, I need to get a glass of water. Yeah, this is also something that working with Joost, who produced the album, and with whom I recorded the vocals, was really pushing me to do. And sometimes that's really hard, because it gets personal in a way that you have to tell yourself it's okay to just sing and listen to what comes out.
Right. We spoke, I think, a year and a half ago when you were about to come to India. That was your first gig in India. I want to know, how was your experience playing in front of, I know everyone says you love food. I know almost every band that says, we love the food you have. But musically, how was your journey when you came to India?
Well, we had a big show at, I know the place is Hyderabad.
Yeah,
Hyderabad, yeah, because I was pronouncing it wrongly before. I loved it. There were so many people. It was at a big student festival.
Yeah.
And wow, you were just going mad all over here. It was my first time in India. I'm not sure. I think also the first time for the boys in India. And wow, it just felt like some, I don't know if you can say it like that, but like coming home, because everyone was there waiting for us and singing along to our songs like we've been there the week before,
So, if you had to sum up the album in a sentence, what would you say?
The album in a sentence. New and daring. I think we ventured into new areas, but also exactly what our fans want to hear.
Bingo.
So it is symphonic, and it is the trusted XANDRIA sound that we have ever since Neville's End. But we might have borrowed a bit from different genres to make it a little bit more edgy and a bit more brutal.
Awesome. That's really cool to hear. Dianne, a couple of days ago, I mean, look, when you're a female in the metal scene, a lot of eyes are on you, and then you prove yourself by, you have done it, Floor has done it, Simone has done it, almost every musician out there has done this by, getting that crazy fan following because of the amount of hard work you guys have put. But when someone asks you a question about your personal view about a specific band. Let's say you don't seem to like that band, and you are honest about it.
Ah, you're talking about Floor and Slayer.
Exactly, yeah. So, that's kind of really weird because, a statement made by her, and that's her personal statement, which is absolutely fine, and it goes berserk, and everyone starts, attacking her. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I must say I didn't read her first statement. I only know that this was going on because I read her making a post about, this is my personal opinion. So, but I still don't know what she said at first.
Yeah, it was purely about the band Slayer. I think it was a very funny question about, what's your opinion on Slayer? And they said, no, I don't like them. They're this, they're that. So that's her personal opinion. So then you have someone like, a journalist asking you, you would obviously say what you like and what you don't, but then making a whole fuss out of it went really bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know Floor, and she's such a sweetheart. She's a really gentle and kind person. So I'm sure that if whatever she said must have been, not trying to offend anyone.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Now, for you, touring is very important. When are you heading to North America? Because that's the area where the band is growing, the fan base is increasing. Europe is your home, and anywhere you go, now you're coming towards Asia as well. So, about States, what's next for the band?
Yes, well, the only thing I can give you is the password to my email, and then you can log in and you can see how many emails there are about this topic. But there's nothing that I can announce yet.
To come here, that would be really great. And States obviously has a lot of fans out there. That would be great. And I'll also wait for you in India and somewhere somehow in Europe, maybe a festival. I will definitely catch you guys there.
Cool. You're much invited.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Always a nice having a chat with you. I'll see you somewhere on the road.
Cool. Thank you for your support.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.